happy Monday. Welcome back. I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. I'm excited to be back today and back for this week. We have a nice action-packed week and I'm excited to start it off with you guys. Let's see, we still have 5 minutes before class. I always, per usual, like to log on nice and early, get everybody situated, get myself situated, and talk about what we're gonna work on today. And if you're logging in through Patreon, right in the lower right-hand corner, if you want to participate in chat and check in and say hello, there's a little YouTube logo. If you kind of just drag your mouse over it, that'll pop you out into the YouTube app. That way you can participate in chat. I also try to keep our Discord chat open just in case you're messaging us on there. Let me bring that up right now. Great, we got it up. Hey, Nicolette. Welcome and good morning. Hey, Stephanie. Good morning. Hope you're doing well. I'm a little bummed. I'm still having issues seeing the chat box. I'm gonna have to take a good portion of this afternoon to mess around with my Streamlabs because I like being able to see the chat in the little box. But I don't know why it's not doing that, so, we do the best we can. Technology is strange and weird. And even though I feel like I'm halfway decent at it, it still throws me for a loop on most days. All right. Great, we've got a handful of people here. I'm gonna scoot this over to this screen. I connected the TV that we have in this apartment to my PC. That way I can have a couple of screens going as I'm streaming. It's really helpful. Oh, thank you for joining in from Argentina. Thank you for the love. It means so much. So let's talk about what we're going to do today. I gotta be real with you guys. I'm feeling, see, there's the chat. There it is. I made it happen. I'm definitely, I'm leading up to the days before my cycle. So definitely in my luteal phase right now. Not feeling my strongest, not feeling super on top of it. But I know that moving always makes me feel better. Hip openers always makes me feel better. And I just want to do some things that make my digestive system feel really good. So I wanted to do hips and some more gentle twists. The thing that's gonna make this more of a power flow is just gonna go through nice extended holds, things that are going to feel strengthening, things that are going to feel lengthening. The hip openers that I wanted to get into today in particular are our, at least in yin, is called dragon pose. But we're just gonna be going for those deep grounded lower lunges and seeing if we can add in some binds and some rotations into them. So if you know that when you're doing these deeper lunges or these deeper binds that you like to have things like blocks, or straps, then be sure to grab those things now. Grab your water. Stay hydrated. I promise it'll make you feel better. I taught a bunch of hot yoga classes last Friday, and I feel like I'm still trying to make up for the dehydration that I feel after that. So have all that ready. I'm gonna give it like another 2 or so minutes for people to log on. And during that time, if you're here, if you're chatting with me, I want you to mention in the chat, if you can, some of your favorite hip openers to take. These can be challenging hip openers, or these can be really restorative hip openers. But I just love to hear what people's favorites are. So just in case if we're going through class, I can maybe add in your favorite. For me personally, my favorites are Happy Baby on the ground. Love that one. And for a challenging hip opener, I probably would have to say like Birds of Paradise. I feel like those are my favorite ones. Maybe we'll do a little Birds of Paradise today. Good morning, Shayla. And hi, everybody. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Happy Monday. I do like to log on early, talk about class ahead of time, and I tend to repeat myself just so that I get as much information out to people as possible. We're going to be working on our hips today. We're going to be working on some gentle twists and potentially some binds, because I just love all those things. And Mama doesn't feel like doing any inversions today. I'm going to tell you that right now. So if you dislike inversions, and what I mean by inversions is like handstands and arm balances, I'm not really going to throw those in today for myself. But if you want to take them, there's of course going to be plenty of opportunities to do that. All right, make sure you've got your blocks. If you like to use straps during binds, for sure, grab those, have them handy. Ooh, double pigeon and dancer's pose. I love that. Double pigeon is very challenging. Good morning to you too, Jelena. I like Gouda morting. I think we should just adopt that instead of good morning, because I really like Gouda cheese. Hey Sharon, hello, good morning. We're getting ready for our hip opening power flow. But like I was mentioning, your girl is in that luteal phase AF right now. So I'm days out from starting my cycle, and there's a big part of me that's like, oof, I just don't want to do too much right now. So I'm gonna find ways to challenge us, but ways that my body feels okay with doing. All right, so let's head to my little makeshift space. I think I have things kind of in a better way. I'm still, figuring things out per usual, because this is like a much smaller room. I'm not really able to like get my entire arm in frame, but we're close enough. So I'm happy with how things look. All right. Let me take this down. And I'm going to share this weird little playlist with you guys that I made. You don't have to use it. That's for dang sure. But it was a really fun little playlist to compile. Oh shit. If you're like me and you absolutely adore um, finding original sounds and their samples. This is the playlist for you. All right. So I've got everybody's favorite hip openers in mind as we go. I'm gonna remember those. And if you didn't, it's all good. Maybe I will just end up teaching your favorite one. We're gonna start seated. I've got my blocks towards the front, just in case we end up using those, which we might as well. And like with every practice, I always want to start just breathing, integrating, coming back to yourself. This past weekend, I felt really disconnected from myself. To be honest, I felt kind of regressive. A lot of the things that are not my proudest flaws were really coming out in force. But I had to remember my toolbox, the things that I pull from when I get into that kind of headspace. And coming to a movement practice is one of those tools. Breathing is another one of those tools. So let's take 3 breaths here together. Full, complete inhalations and exhalations. Good, and after you take that 3rd and final breath, we're going to take your hands to your right and to your left, bringing them onto the ground. Feeling yourself send little roots down into the earth through each fingertip, even through each sit bone. Whatever you want your intention, your mantra to be through this practice, set it here, set it now. More of something, less of another thing. Love for somebody. Love for yourself. We'll take one last breath. And then we'll take this into a side body stretch. Reach your right arm up. And then we'll side bend up and over to your left-hand side. You can keep your left fingertips on the ground, or you can bring your left forearm onto the ground for more. Now in this moment, in this shape, we're trying to keep our chest open to the front, even up to the sky a little bit. That always helps me get a little more space. Now we're just gonna work through your arm and shoulder. I want you to find as much extension as you can through that right arm, and then bring back in a little soft bend. Let's do that 2 more times. Reach, extend through your right arm, and then give it a little soft bend. 1 more time, reach and extend. And then with that bend, I want you to turn your torso down to the ground and change that stretch. Taking it through the back body, taking into your QL, your quadratus lumborum. So that's that right lower back. Good, let's open the chest back up towards ceiling, breath in. And exhale, we'll bring it back to center. Reroot your right fingertips to the ground. Reach your left arm up, and let's side bend up and over to your right hand side. Good, if that was enough, cool. If you needed more, bring your right forearm down to the ground. Take an inhale, really reach through that left arm. And with your exhale, bend into the elbow. Nice, let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, reach. And exhale, give it a little bend. 1 more time, inhale, reach through the arm. With your exhale, bend your elbow and start to turn your chest down. Feel that stretch change. Feel that stretch shift. Nice. With your inhale, we'll open the chest back up to the side. And with your exhale, we'll bring everything back to center. Now I want you to lean back, contract back, untangle your legs. And then we'll scoot our butt down. Feet are on the ground. You can just dig your heels in. I like this one if I want a little more activation. We're gonna do a nice, slow, controlled roll down. We're gonna get into your abs. So contract and go down one backbone at a time. Good. Inhale, bring your arms up above you. And with your exhale, let's try to come back up to that original position. Try to come up as intentionally as you went down. It's a challenge. Nice and slow down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale up. Nice. Inhale down. Exhale up. Let's do two more just like that. Last time. Nice. Now let's take it all the way down. We'll stay there. With that exhale, bringing the arms just by your side body. Try to snuggle your shoulders underneath you. Bring your knees into a bend, plant your feet onto the ground. Let's lift up your hips into a bridge position. I don't want you to go to your maximum right now. I just want you to go to a comfortable bridge for you. Now try to create your posterior tilt. So that means you're tucking your tailbone underneath you and creating length in the front of your body and in your hip flexors. If this is bothering your knees for whatever reason, open up the feet a little wider or even turn them out. Everybody's body is going to feel a little different and have different needs here. All right. Now you can hang on to the little edges of your mat. We're just going to do a little wake-up call for your glutes. Lower an inch and lift an inch. Up, up. Nice. One of my favorite ways to train mobility, to train flexibility, is by also activating. One of the biggest mistakes I made when I was first starting off on training flexibility was thinking that I had to let go in order to get into my deepest stretches. But when I did that, I often injured myself, and I had to totally relearn the smart way to train. So with a lot of these stretches, we also want to have some activation to keep these muscles, to keep your tendons safe. Last 8, 7, 6, nice. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold up right there. Roll to the outside edges of your feet, opening up the legs a little more. We're just going to get into these outer glutes. We're just going to do 15 more little pulses here. Keep that tailbone tucked, even though the position of the legs changed. Up, up. Nice job. 3, 2, 10 more after this. Let's go. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keep the openness of the hips. Just set the hips down onto the ground. Leave the left leg as it is, but bring the right leg in towards your ribs. Let's go into half happy baby. Grab for the outside edge of the right foot or your big toe. If that's inaccessible, you can also grab for the ankle. Now, important detail, just in case it got lost in translation, this left leg is still kind of turning out. You're winged out on that side. Feel free to extend, rebend the leg. Oh, yeah. Everything's feeling real crunchy today, but that's okay. We've got solutions for that. All right, darlings, let's do the other side. So bring the right foot back to the ground. You're resting on the outer edge of that foot. We're going half happy baby on the other side. So you're grabbing for your big toe, outer edge of left foot, whatever is the most accessible. Oof. And again, extending, bending. Oh my goodness, you guys. I'm really glad that I decided on doing hips today because these hippies are needing some TLC today. All right. Let's bring both of your legs back into center, and by center, towards your chest. We'll rock a little bit from right to left. Great. Twist, both knees fall to the left-hand side, right shoulder wants to stay. You can keep it, you can also wrap the legs. We're heading to the other side in 2 more breaths. All right, let's head over through center and to the right. You can uncross, recross, however you did your twist on the other side. Oh my God. I don't know if you heard that. That was my lower vertebra. All right, one last breath. And then we'll bring it back to center. And we're gonna start to do some rocks and rolls. So let's gather everything in. Fingertips can go into your knee pits. Up and down you go. Our goal is to get towards tabletop position. So however many rolls you want to take to get there, be my guest. All right. Now, even if we're not going to be doing any arm balancing or anything like that today, there's still a lot of inversions that we're going to be doing, like downward facing dog. So let's take a few moments here to warm up your wrists. You can go forwards and backwards, or you can draw circles, right? Forwards and back, circles. You can even do external rotations. I just like to always take a few moments to work through my wrists. These little pancake flips are my favorite personally. And one additional thing that I like to do that gives my hands a little bit of attention, with my hands flat onto the ground, I like to lift up the heel of my hand, including my thumb, and then move from pointer knuckle through middle, ring, and to pinky. So we're stretching the bottoms of our hands. And I'm gonna head to the other side. Woo! Lift and work those little rolls. Wow. Pinky finger side definitely has some things to say today. All right, shake out your hands if you need to. And then we're gonna step back into a high plank position. So tuck your toes, lift your knees, press away from the ground, take a breath in, and with your exhale, send it back into downward facing dog. Nice. And then because I love some dynamic work, let's roll forwards back to high plank and exhale back to down dog. Let's do 3 more. Two. Last 1. And then from this downward facing dog, let's take a little walk to the front. And feet will be hip width distance apart or a little bit wider for this forward fold. Get that stretch into your hamstrings. Maybe you're feeling it into your hips, your calves, your Achilles. Great, and then let's turn this into an open twist. Left hand is gonna find the center of your mat, on a block, off a block, whatever you need. Left leg is gonna bend. Both of your feet are gonna stay completely on the ground as you reach your right arm up towards the ceiling. Now for a little extra stretch in your outer ankle, roll to the outside edge of your right foot, just like we were doing earlier when we were doing that kind of hip opener situation. This is a really good one if you're doing a lot of weight training, if you're doing a lot of running. All right, take the right foot completely flat again. Let's do that same thing to the other side. Bend into the right knee, lengthen out through the left leg, left arm reaches up. And if you did it on the other side, rolling to outside edge of the left foot, I just kind of knew this side was going to be more intense for me, and those assumptions were correct. Last breath here, and exhale, let's bring it back towards center. Now let's bend generously into your knees. Let's roll all the way up and stack, bone by bone, vertebra by vertebra, all the way up to a standing position. All right, Surya Namaskar A. Starting with your feet together, tailbone nice and long. We're in our Tadasana mountain pose. Palms are facing the front of our space, shoulder blades are down and away from your ears. Now let's turn it into Utthita Hasta in Tadasana. Both of your arms reach up towards the ceiling. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Good, 2 times like that. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. Last time with a little change, inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold, take it down. Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, plant your hands, step back into a high plank. Now, just like we did earlier, warming up your wrists, pick whichever one you like, either tracking forwards and backwards or doing a circle, but from your high plank. Only here for about 10 more seconds. Nice. And then we're going to take ourselves all the way down onto our tummies. Try to point your elbows back behind you as you lower down. We're going to do some Bhujangasana low cobras. Feet can stay hip width distance or they can zip together. I just want your low back to feel comfortable, so take any modifications you need. Inhale, peel up your heart, peel up your head, and I want you to really try to squeeze the shoulder blades down so you feel this all the way down through your lats and traps. Bring it back down to the ground, walk the hands back a little bit, and again, peel upwards. Activate the legs, press the tops of the feet into the ground, and melt all the way down. Now, if your legs found themselves together, open them back up into hip width distance or wider. Peel up into your Bhujangasana. Add a little bit of pressure into the hands, just the slight amount so that you can get a little bit of an additional lift. 3, 2, and melt your way back down to the ground. Push yourself into tabletop position. Left hand is going to stay center, right arm is going to reach up. We're doing thread the needle. Right arm goes underneath you, shoulder and ear is going to find the ground. Nice. Now left hand can stay in front of your face or it can reach to the front, or I want to encourage y'all to start doing some binds. So arm will wrap around your body, it can rest on your low back. My more advanced folks, maybe you start grabbing for the inner thigh. Nice. Some belly breaths. One more. And then let's return everything back. We're gonna open back into that twist, but spin open to the side, okay? So we're in a modified side plank. We're gonna do a little bit of activation on this outer hip. Let's lift up that right leg. Toes are pointing straight in front of you. Outer edge, lift. Lift, lift. Good. Up and up. Nice. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Return everything back down to the ground. Back to your tabletop position. Right hand centers, left arm reaches up. Thread the needle, left arm goes underneath you. Shoulder, ear returns to the ground. I love doing thread the needle. One of my favorite stretches to do. Microphone, you stay there. All right. Right arm can reach above you. It can stay in front of your face. But if you did that bind on the other side, let's do it again. So arm wraps around. All right. One last breath here. And then we're going to come back, plant the right hand into the ground. We're going to open into that side plank to the other side, okay? So spin on your right knee, extend the left leg back. Left arm reaches up, left leg lifts, flexed foot. Let's go lift and lift. Good, so we're working those abductor muscles in the hips. Stay with me, stay with me. Squeeze and breathe. We've got 5. We've got 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's return back into our tabletop position. Reach your heart space forward, stretch out your abdominals, and then exhale, push into the ground and round your spine. Inhale, open the heart to the front and tuck your toes, breath in. Exhale, take it back into down dog. All right, proper Sunday flow, breath to movement. Take one more breath here in your down dog. And then we use our inhales to initiate. Heels high with your breath in. Exhale, bend your knees, compress with your breath out. Inhale to the top of your mat, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Utthita Hasta in Tadasana, arms reach up. Exhale, Samastitihi, hands at heart or by side body. Inhale, reach your arms back up. Exhale, forward fold, take it down. Halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, you can go through Chaturanga all the way down to your cobras, or you can start to work more vinyasa style. Mid-plank and upward facing dog for a bigger back bend. We're all going to meet in downward facing dog and take 3 breaths. During those 3 breaths in your downward facing dog, work your technique, ribs in. Conditioning the shoulders, conditioning through your back. 3rd breath will move us. Heels up, bend your knees, compress. Inhale to your halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up to standing. Exhale, Samasti. Again, inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Maybe at this point you start adding in some jump backs. If you're adding in those jump backs, try landing in your mid-plank and being as quiet as you can. Back into that downward facing dog, 3 breaths. Now for the rest of this Sunday, right, we've guided through 3. I'm gonna have you do 2 more on your own with an invitation to add on any little details that you want. Some more back bends, some open twists, a different pace.
Inversions even, handstands, hops. I'll do a lot less cueing, but I'll be moving myself. Let's start with our heels up together. We'll bend our knees and then we'll set you free. Our end point that we're all going to meet at is a downward facing dog. I've got one more round. All right, once you make it into that final downward facing dog, take those 3 breaths. Nice, finish off that last breath. Then we're gonna start to get into your hip flexors and hips. Take a breath in. Exhale, step your right foot forward. Lower your left knee down right away. We're going into Anjaneyasana, low lunge. So arms are going to reach up. Great. Now I'm going more for depth in my hip flexor. You can get a similar effect by being lifted up to the point that feels comfortable for your hips, but just focus on your posterior tilt, right? Now I want you to take a breath in here. With your exhale, bring your hands down to the ground, tuck your left toe, and step your left foot forward. Good. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, fold. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. And with your exhale, sink deeper and reach both of your arms back behind you. Good. Inhale, stand tall, reach your arms up. Exhale, forward fold, take it all the way back down. Now listen for this transition, halfway lift. Again, step your left foot back and move into that low lunge once more. Arms reach up. Now here comes the difference. We're gonna go into a hamstring stretch or Ardha Hanumanasana half split. Hands come towards the ground. Right leg is going to go long. Toes are gonna be flexing towards my face. Great. Let's rebend into the front knee, plant your hands, tuck left toes. And we're gonna lift the right leg up and back behind you into a 3-legged dog. Open up your hip, bend into your knee. If you're feeling good here, drop that right foot behind you, push your hips up to the sky, flip dog. Great. Swirl yourself back around, and let's go high to mid plank in Ekapada. So that's a single-legged. Upward facing, and exhale, downward facing. Take a breath in, take a breath out. Again, inhale, exhale, left foot steps forward. Anjaneyasana, right knee down, stacking your shoulders up above your hips. Think about your tailbone again, staying really nice and long underneath you as you reach up. Take your breath in. Exhale, hands come down. Right foot is going to step forwards. Halfway lift. And with your exhale, fold. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose, fierce pose. Exhale, sweep the arms back. Sit a little bit deeper into your chair. Inhale, rise up to standing. Arms reach up, so that's in your Utthita Hasta Tadasana. Exhale, forward fold. Once more, halfway lift. Exhale, step right foot back. Anjaneyasana, knee down. Reach everything back up with one breath in. Exhale, hamstring stretch. Lengthen out through the left leg, flexing the toes towards your face. All right, let's rebend back into this front leg, tuck back toes, lift back knee, three-legged dog, left leg finds its way up. Open up your hip, bend into your knee. And then this foot is gonna drop behind us if you did it on the other side. Flip dog. Nice. Bring it back around, high to mid plank, ekapada, upward, and exhale, downward facing. Reset with your breaths. We're gonna pick up the pace, going through another round of this with a couple of additions. Great, another inhale. Exhale, step right foot forward. Inhale, Anjaneyasana, reaching your arms up. Exhale to the front of your mat, standing fold. Halfway lift, breath in. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, sweep the arms back. Inhale, standing. Exhale, fold. Good, halfway lift. Exhale, step your left foot back, Anjaneyasana. Inhale, breath. Good, exhale, half splits. Option to keep the arms floating behind you for a little more activation. Rebend into your front knee, tuck back toes, three-legged dog, inhale, breath. Nice. Exhale, flip dog, drop it back behind you, or even keep it floating for a little static hold. 3, 2, and 1. High to mid. Upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. I know, that's a tough one, y'all. Breath in. Exhale, step left foot forward. Inhale, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, step to the front of your mat. I know it's a quick one. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Chair pose. Exhale, sweep the arms back. Inhale, rise up to standing. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, breath in. Exhale, low lunge, right foot steps back. Anjaneyasana, inhale, breath. Exhale, half splits. Option to keep it floating for a little more activation. Rebend into your front knee, plant the hands, tuck back toes. Three-legged dog, inhale. Exhale, flip dog, or flip dog static hold. Nice. Last 3, 2, and 1. High to mid. Let's go. Upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now this can be your resting shape. You can lower your forearms to the ground for dolphin pose. You can also take a true rest and go into your child's pose. Hey, Richard. All right, so wherever you are, down dog, if you're in your dolphin position or if you're taking a real rest, we're gonna start to head into more of our leg work for today. So we're gonna get up into our lunges and into some deeper hip work before we finish up class, because we only have 20 minutes left. I know that feels like a lot, but it isn't. In terms of teaching a class, it is not a lot of time, but I'm definitely feeling nice and warm and sweaty after all that. All right. If you're already in your down dog shapes, we're gonna meet you there. We're heading there in 10 seconds. I'm excited, I'm ready. We're heading there in 3, heading there in 2. Nice, let's get it. Last big tough pieces. Downward facing dog. All right, let's lift up our right leg. Let's open up our right hip. With your exhale, let's tap your right knee to your right tricep. Nice. We're gonna slide it down towards the wrist, lift it back up to the tricep, and then try to step our right foot to the outside of your hand. Lizard lunge. Try to work the hips down towards the ground. You can also lower your left knee down to the ground if you like. I like to stay lifted for this one personally, but there's a variety of ways that we can get deeper into this guy. You can stay as you are. You can walk some forearms down onto some blocks, walk your forearms down to the ground. Great. You could even try to snuggle a shoulder underneath your right leg. All right, so a lot of ways. We're here for 3. Great, last 2. And then we'll bring this bad boy up on 1. Woo-hoo-hoo. Let's lengthen out through your right leg just for a moment to get out of those hips. We'll rebend into our front knee, tuck back toe, lift back knee, back into our 3-legged dog. Knee to nose, let's step through to a low lunge, and we'll stack and lift up into a high crescent position. Arms are going to reach up. Take your inhale breath. With your exhale, let's open twist to our right. Right arm back, left arm forwards. Good, inhale, bring it back up. Exhale, open heart twist to the right. That's it. One last time. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, open heart twist to the right. And either hold and stay, or if you want to dig a little bit deeper with me, exalted warrior. Right hand is going to come to your left hamstring, or even deeper onto your calf if you're feeling stable and secure. Nice. Take your breath in. Exhale, we're heading to warrior 2 from here. Right arm is reaching forward, back foot is going to adjust. Now let's lengthen our front leg, rebend into it, just get ourselves oriented in this new shape. Hips should be feeling nice and open by this point. All right, let's maintain the bend into our front leg. Arms are reaching again, front and back. Right palm flips. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, let's head into side angle and stay. Your side angle can look like resting your elbow onto your thigh. It can look like grabbing a block and placing it right underneath your hand to the inside of your foot. If you're feeling comfortable and you can get the hand like down to the ground or something like that, hips are feeling really nice and open, then I'm going to start to offer up to y'all some binds. You can do this from any level technically, whether the elbow's on the thigh, your hand's on a block, or you're deep. Left arm is going to hook around and do that little half bind. Now, if you want a full bind, you want to be where I'm at right now, because we want to try to get this shoulder nestled underneath you. Hand works, grabbing for the wrist, or even interlacing. Big work for the thighs. Stay with me here for 3. Last 2. Nice job. Last 1. Let's release those binds. All we're going to do is bring our left hand down to the ground so that we're kind of in that original, like, deep lizard lunge position. Now, I'm going to offer up a side plank. You can do this modified right away by dropping the left knee down, or you step back. Now, if you want to work a nice big hip opener here with me, grab for that right big toe before you move all the way around and see if you can lift it up towards the sky. Now I'm pressing hard into the outer edge of my left foot, trying to stay stacked. You can even ditch that toe and move into your flip dog. It's all really up to you what you want to add on. All right, let's move. High to mid plank, upward facing, and exhale, downward facing. Let's finish this last piece of this flow. Left leg is going to lift, hip is going to open. Left knee is going to tap your left tricep. Now I want you to slide it down to the wrist, lift it back up as high as you can, and then step flat-footed to the outside of your left hand. Lizard lunge, round 2. Again, I'm staying elevated, I'm staying high. But if you took deeper variations, like walking your hands down, forearms on the blocks, forearms to the ground, trying to get left shoulder underneath that hip. I support you. Good, 2 breaths. All right. If you are down on your forearms, let's come back onto your hands. We're going to counter it just by lengthening out our left leg a little bit. We'll rebend into our front knee. Tuck back toes, lift back knee, back to 3-legged dog. And then knee to nose, let's step through into low lunge. Up into high crescent we go. Shoulders are stacked above your hips. Arms are reaching up overhead. Take your breath in. And with your exhale, open up to the left. Left arm back, right arm forwards. Inhale up. Exhale, open. We did a total of 3 of these with a little extra credit on the last one. Inhale, reach up. And with your exhale, open to the left-hand side and either stay or exalted warrior. Left hand onto right thigh, right arm reaching high. Or maybe you played a little dangerous game with me and tried to grab for that calf. Take a breath in. Exhale, let's bring it all the way up and around into your warrior 2. Ooh. All right. Arms reaching front and back, just like before. Let's give the hips a little break, lengthen, and bend a couple times. And then we'll meet on our bend, reverse, and exhale, side angle. Left elbow can rest onto your thigh, right arm high. You can also place your hand on a block, or maybe you went deep. If you're going deep, I'm always noticing I have to also get my legs a little bit further apart for me to actually have good hip alignment here. All right. Now for all parties involved, wherever you are, the knee, the block, or down, half bind. If you're all the way down here with me, your shoulders nice and deep, work your full bind. Hell yeah, your left leg is going to be working. We've got 3 breaths. All right. Wherever you are in your binds and your shape, let's bring the right hand down, the left hand down. We're going to go into our side plank, modified or unmodified. If you're modified, drop the knee, spin, do your thing. If you're working your full, maybe you come with me and go for your Padangusthasana. So I'm grabbing for my left big toe, I'm rolling to the outside edge of my right foot, and then getting that left leg above me. All right, maybe you stay, maybe you release. Drop into one more flip. And through your very last chaturanga. Isn't that wonderful news? Upward facing. And with your exhale, downward facing dog. Nicely done, everybody. Let's take a malasana at the center of our mat. Soles of the feet towards the outer edges. This is the final push. It's our last 10 minutes, which includes a shavasana, includes our final stretches. But I want to squeeze in that last little shape that I was talking about. Birds of Paradise is a single-legged balance. It's a bind. It's a hip opener. It's a little bit of everything. So from here, let's get your shoulders ready for it, especially if you weren't doing a ton of binding up to this moment. I want you to take your hands like little paddles, internally rotate them, and let's stick the palms of your hands into your inner thigh creases. So the insides of my elbows are on the insides of my thighs, and I'm gonna give them a little squeeze. So I'm squeezing my legs in towards each other here. Nice. And then we'll open back up. We'll release this position with the hands. And we'll open up our arms. Right arm is up towards the sky. Left arm is down. Now, if you want to play with another full bind here, make it happen. Great. We'll do the same thing to the other side. So open, shift. All right, let's take it back towards center, opening up through your arms. Take a breath in. And with your exhale, plant your hands, lift your hips, and pivot the feet out. This is where we're going to get into our Birds of Paradise. I'll turn to face you. So we're gonna start with our right leg. I want you to try to get your right shoulder on the inside of that right thigh. Reach the arm through the leg, half bind with the left arm wrap around. Now let's step our left foot a little bit closer in and come up on the heel of or onto the toe ball mound, so we're lifting our heel of the right foot. Now take that whole leg with you as you come up towards standing. Now just this on its own, hella challenging, it's a lot. If you want to work your full birds, try to extend through your leg. Yeah. Last 3. Last 2. And 1. Try to bring it down controlled. Same thing, step out a little bit wider. Release your arms, shake those shoulders out a little bit. All right. Let's get into our other side. So left shoulder is going to try to snuggle into your left leg. Arm reaches back, right arm reaches around. Let's step the right foot in a little bit closer, up on the big toe ball mound of your left foot, and let's rise up to standing. Great. Now once you're up, you're up. Hey, this is a big accomplishment just getting to this moment right here. I'm going to focus and use my drishti to just look at one thing. All right, leg can lift, extend. Really recommend just looking at one fixed object. Try to lift through your chest. If you need to bend, re-extend a little bit. 3, 2, and 1. Let's bring it back down. Try to control through your step. Release. And let's step it out into a proper wide-legged fold. Nice Nice job, everybody. You did so great. We're going to take everything down to the ground now. So you can walk down to your knees from here. You can also walk your hands between your legs, turn the arms externally, and support your way down. Tap out your legs a little bit. Woohoo. Take some breaths. And we're going to go into our final hip openers. Knees bent. Both knees rainbow to the right. Deer pose, moving forwards over the leg, opening the hip, or you can roll all the way through to your half pigeon, so whatever you prefer to do. If you roll into that half pigeon and you're finding you're trying to get some more depth, I kind of do it automatically now, but pushing your hand into the foot, walking back a little bit, just here for a few breaths so that I can get you guys back to your Monday. All right, let's bring you back through center. And we'll do the same exact thing to the other side. So both hips to the left. You can go into your deer pose, love that one. Or if you rolled all the way through to your half pigeon. Wow, my left hip's very angry still. All right, we'll take one last breath here. We'll start to move outwards, but just to bring ourselves back to facing whatever our front was. If you want to take our final meditation with a certain block orientation, I encourage you to do that. I'm going to take a little chest opener for our last 3 minutes. And if you have certain meditation music you want to put on, silence even, recommend. Savoring these final 2 minutes together. We'll take 3 more breaths here. Remembering returning to our original intention and mantra. Take in the shifts that your body has experienced in the last hour. Now, whichever path makes the most sense to you, bringing yourself to a seat. Sitting cross-legged. And I want you to bring your hands or even your forearms down to the ground in front of you. I feel very, very grateful to be your teacher today. Thank you to all of you for the privilege of moving your body. I hope this was a wonderful start to your Monday, to your week. I know it was for me. And if I don't see you again on Wednesday for skills and drills, Thursday for beginners class, or Friday for bar, then I hope to see you next Monday. You guys did great. Thank you for joining. That's better. It's so great. I always feel so much better after that. Thank you, Sharon. Oh, Stephanie. Shayla, wonderful. You're all so welcome. So again, I already mentioned it, but I'm very feeling it. I'll be teaching our skills and drills Wednesday, and then beginners class Thursday, and then, yes, Friday, bar. Oh, Shayla, wonderful. I'm glad you like it. I taught a class. I haven't finished this playlist. It's not really an official like class playlist, but it's fun to move around to, you know. I taught my sculpt based on it, and it was a really fun class to teach. Really fun. So yeah. I also want to share this other playlist I've been working on. If you're ever like looking for meditation things or Shavasana playlists, I've been making this one, so if you ever need something, I got you. Oh, Jelena, great. Major emotion moving with the hips, yeah. I feel like it was a bit of an emotion. I don't know if you guys felt this, but all weekend I felt, I don't know if it was the full moon or something, but oof, lots of heavy emotions, and I felt like I was kind of at odds everywhere I was going. Even with my partner, I was like, why do I feel like I'm not effectively speaking to you? Like I just was having a lot of difficulties this week. So hopefully I have moved through that and can feel just like a little more grounded through the week. I think I will be. So, all right, my darlings. Well, I'm gonna let you get on to your Monday. If you're with me on Patreon, I hope to see you again. If you're not, come join us. Chat with us on Discord. Join our little community. It would be great to have you. And I will see you all next time. So much love to you. So much love to you and your families. I can't wait to see y'all again. Thank you for joining me today.